Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5. Starting at number 5. Asus ROG Swift PG27UQ. Perhaps a little obvious, but packing lots of top-end features into a display means it'll come with a high price tag. The Asus ROG Swift PG27UQ is an incredible display, but it doesn't come cheap. That money does net you more features than any other display here, and perhaps that's enough to set it apart. As well as the ridiculously clear, bright and detailed images that the PG27UQ's 4K and HDR-enabled 27-inch display shows off. This monitor also incorporates NVIDIA G-Sync tech, making this an absolute behemoth of a screen. Though we do wish the contrast was slightly better on this nearly perfect screen. On the back, it's a bit lean on the connections, but you should have everything you need. Present are an HDMI 2.0 input, DisplayPort 1. The PG27UQ excels especially well with gritty games like Metro Exodus and Outlast 2 with the HDR turned on, and honestly, the lighting looks just as good compared to ray tracing in some instances. But depending on the in-game lighting, some finer details will be too dark to make out. Brightly colored games are where this monitor really shines. IPS displays in general allow you to view the screen from off-angle without the color quality being affected. But throwing Quantum.Tech in there adds more backlighting to the LEDs, which allows for that wider color gamut. Also, the 144Hz refresh rate combined with G-Sync also helps create a near-flawless gaming experience. I didn't experience any screen tearing or micro stutter. Of course, you'll need to overclock the monitor to get up to 144Hz via the display's OSD menu. But the native 120Hz isn't so bad. It's not like most games will even hit 120 frames per second on current hardware at 4K. You'll want a great GPU to take advantage of everything. And that GPU should ideally be a GeForce graphics card, or else G-Sync won't work. With the appropriate hardware, every game can run smoothly with the refresh rate synced to your frame rate. Whether that's at 40 frames per second or 144 frames per second. If you're targeting maximum frame rates for competitive reasons, you'd probably be better off with a 1080p resolution and display. Running at 1080p and low to medium quality just to hit 144 frames per second would mean money wasted on this monitor. But this is a monitor for more than just games. Coming at number 4. LG 27UL650. The LG 27UL650 is a solid 4K gaming monitor you can often find for under $500. This IPS panel display has improved color and contrast over its predecessor and offers lower input lag for gaming too. If you do more than gaming, then this LG display sports deliciously precise color accuracy and VESA HDR 402. Making watching movies and editing a worthwhile endeavor. It boasts an sRGB 99% color gamut, which means your colors really are spot on. The only real downside is the standard 60Hz refresh rate, which means it isn't a great option if you like your shooters to be of a competitive nature. LG claims this is virtually borderless too, which is a bit of a stretch, but the bezels on the top and sides are reasonably thin. It's got a fat old chin though. Still, if you really want to hurt your graphics card, hooking up a couple of these side by side will certainly give you an impressive amount of screen space. Overall, this monitor does boast decent color accuracy and at an affordable price. Just be mindful that there are smoother panels out there. They just demand a lot more from your bank account for the privilege. At number 3. Gigabyte M28U. 4K has been a prohibitively expensive venture in PC gaming for many years now. That comes down to a simple truth: it's a hell of a lot of pixels to be moving around all at once. Pixel pushing power equals money. You need a graphics card capable of the task and a gaming monitor able to display the final result to experience 4K at its best. And neither has come cheap for the longest time. Within its 4 slim bezels, the Gigabyte M28U contains a 28-inch IPS panel. The IPS panel tech delivers exceptional color depth and clarity, and performs well in most other regards. Especially viewing angles. Most especially black and white levels, where even the slightest dip in contrast was noticeably discernible on screen during testing. That clear delineation in black levels is awfully impressive for an IPS, too. Especially one without a seriously impressive contrast spec such as this. The M28U is rated to 1000:1. And there is also a touch of that telltale IPS glow around the edges on dark images. Though neither is all that noticeable while gaming. This monitor is also rated to display HDR 400. Though its brightness is the fairly standard 300 candelas per square meter. I wouldn't consider its HDR capabilities a big deal either way. And I definitely wouldn't recommend you pick up this monitor specifically for its HDR capabilities. It's not going to show off everything HDR has to offer. Not to mention HDR on Windows PCs is still not that fun an experience. Number 2 of my list. Acer Predator XB273K. A close cousin of the Acer Predator X27, itself once the top of this pile. The XB273K is a seriously excellent 4K monitor. It harnesses everything the X27 does, trading off very little to rehouse it in a far cheaper chassis. Now often found sitting around the $1,000 mark, it is immediately more tempting than the Acer X27. And the only real change is in the HDR. The XB273K has a slightly lower quality of HDR. But that's about it. The whole game is incredibly vivid and has the crispest of image qualities to boot. No blurred or smudged edges to see, and each feature looks almost perfectly defined and graphically identified. Particular highlights are the way water effects, lighting, reflections, and sheens are presented. But there is equal enjoyment to be had from landscape features, the people, and urban elements. All benefit from a widespread excellence in color, contrast, shades, and shadows, and tones. Going darker, I turn to Metro Exodus, and am immediately greeted with great picture quality. Any scene or view from Artyom's perspective is fantastically clear and well presented. The contrast is particularly strong with colors punching through the grays and blacks. The smaller details are equally as good, down to clothing detail, skin tone and complexion, and facial expressions once again. Exodus predecessor and cousin. Metro Redux proved that the Acer Predator XB273K handles near-total dark environments very well indeed. There is an immersion heightening quality to the blacks and grays of the Metro, and those games certainly don't feel 5 years old on the XB273K. And number 1. LG 27GN950B. The LG Ultra Gear is the first 4K Nano IPS, 1 millisecond gaming monitor capable of properly showing off your next-gen GPU. This 4K 27-inch HDR monitor boasts a 144Hz refresh rate and 1 millisecond response time, wild for a 4K monitor. What is most impressive about this LG is the Nano IPS tech that offers a wider color gamut and stellar viewing angles. Offering both 10-bit color and a very impressive 98% coverage of the DCI AP3 gamut. The 27GN950 is a seriously high-fidelity monitor. Oh, and the minor matter that, this is a 4K IPS monitor that runs at fully 144Hz refresh. But what of the actual real-world experience? This is an awfully pretty panel. LG's default calibration is virtually faultless, with impeccable detail in both black and white scales. Beyond the strict metrics, it's a seriously vibrant and punchy display in terms of image quality on the Windows desktop. Hop in game and it's just as impressive. We'll never tire of the buttery smooth goodness that is 144Hz. But combined with the crazy sharp detail that comes with the 4K pixel grid, well, it's pretty special. The catch, of course, is that you'll need one heck of a GPU to make the most of the 144Hz refresh while running at 4K. Though that just got a little more realistic with the latest graphics cards from both Nvidia and AMD. Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.